Yo, Kuro Games has just revealed official information on Camellya's weapon. Now, if you're a dreamer, you've probably already seen this, but this is the official finalized version of Camellya's weapon. They didn't do any reposts or anything, so surely there's no translation issues or anything on this weapon. So Camellya's weapon is called the Red Spring, and if you don't know, so she is a sword user. Now, how worth is this weapon and what is the pull value? That is what we are going to discuss today in this video, and I hope by the end you get some sort of enlightenment on your pulling decisions for Camellya here.
Feed my blossoms, self-deceivers.
Alright, so Camellya's weapon here is a 587 base attack weapon with 24.3 crit rate, which is the same as Emerald of Genesis. It seems they've been doing that with other people's signatures weapon, where they have the same base stats as the other 5-star weapons in the game. Compared to other games, you know, they usually change like the base stats and stuff like that. But it seems like Kuro's been keeping it the same, and then, you know, the passive is usually Omega Juiced. And her passive here on the weapon called Beyond the Cycle gives you 12% attack unconditionally, and then when you deal a basic attack damage instance, you get 10% basic attack damage bonus for 14 seconds. And this effect can be triggered once per second, stacking up to 3 times. So that means you can get up to 30% off of that. And knowing how Camellya plays and how she works, that is going to have 100% uptime. So off the back right there, that's pretty much 12% and 30% basic attack damage at 100% uptime. Now next we have when the wielder's concerto energy is consumed, gain 40% basic attack damage bonus for 10 seconds. Now this is another thing that's going to have high uptime but not permanent uptime, as it only lasts for 10 seconds, but having it as 10 seconds is probably what they are going to have as Camellya's field time overall, as we do know she is a main DPS dealer, so it seems that she's going to be on field for 10 seconds at a time before swapping, so that you can have this buff be fully up. Now, who else can use this weapon besides Camellya, obviously? It's obviously going to be very good for Camellya, but who else could use this weapon in the game? As a basic attack weapon, and there being only so many different types of sword users, realistically, it's only a good pickup for Havoc Rover, I would say. I wouldn't really recommend picking it up for Cheng Li as the...
Then conquer by ingenuity.
I gotta turn off the voices. I gotta turn on. Okay. Anyways, and I got stun knocked having Cheng Li on screen. Oh my goodness gracious. You know, I love Camellya and everything, okay, but I'm telling you, Kuro Games, they cooked with Cheng Li, man. I'm not trolling. I think this is my favorite gacha character design. Like, she is so hot, it's insane. I don't know about favorite. She's top 5. She's top 5, and she's not bottom either. She's like top 3, top 2. She's at the top. She's at the top. Anyways, sidetrack. Reason I wouldn't recommend it for Cheng Li. Obviously, you could use it on her, but Cheng Li doesn't do any basic attack. Cheng Li's all resonant skill damage. Then another sword character that you might think about using it on is Dan Jin. While Dan Jin does do more basic attacking than Cheng Li does, she also doesn't want this. In fact, Cheng Li and Dan Jin both want Cheng Li's weapon. Surprisingly, you know. Resonant skill users want to use a resonant skill character weapon. Isn't that crazy? Yup, I know, right? And Sanhua, you could use it for a on-field DPS Sanhua. I mean, if you're like that, you know, maybe your Bayzad like that. I don't know. You could do that for Sanhua. It could be decent for her, you know, crit stat stick, and then you get all the damage percent. But another thing is, all these people can also use Emerald of Genesis. So I think that kind of takes off her. And then lastly, for Yang Yang, you definitely don't want this for Yang Yang, because Yang Yang is a bunch of heavy attacking skill and her ult as well, so definitely don't want to get this for Yang Yang. And that concludes all of the sword characters here. Now lastly, before getting into the end of the video here, I want to actually show you how much of an improvement. Alright, so I want to show you how much Camellya's weapon is of improvement over the Emerald of Genesis. So I'm going to show a basic rotation. I don't know how efficient this rotation is going to be, as she's not out and can't really min-max her rotations and stuff right now, but I want to show you an example of how high it could be. Now, if I go in here, I am using this Camellya on Crownless. The buff is active. She's running a 4-3-3-1-1 for both builds. Like I said, all buffs are going to be up, and this is with min rolls on every piece of crit rate and crit damage. I'm going to show you the average and the crit amount. All right, so as you can see here, I've generated a assumption. Like I said, we don't know her exact rotations yet, so I'm going to make a scuffed example rotation of what something could look like for your rotation here. I have her introing into her skill combo, going into Forte. She's getting 2 hits off for each Vine attack. She's getting both of her Vine bonus attacks off, and she's getting the Whirling Dance, and she's getting 3 dodge counters, which is the Atonement. She has her ultimate, Forte, and her outro damage included in this. So right now, we are looking at 1.3 million damage. Also, this team is with Verena and Sanhua buffs up, just so you know the teammates. C6 Sanhua for the 20% attack buff. So anyways, going back, this damage is about 1.3 million and the average is 9.7. Average is pretty much just averaging it out of crit, no crit. If you don't know what that means here. Now, if we go and change the weapon over to Emerald of Genesis, I'm assuming 1 stack on Emerald of Genesis because you only do your skill once before going into your rotation here. Emerald of Genesis sits at 782k for the average and 1 million almost flat here for the total damage crit. Now, as you can see, that's about like a 30% increase on Camellya's signature weapon. So if you wanted a little gist of what that would look like as an improvement for your Camellya, that is what it is. Now, obviously, this is a assumption, you know, but 20 to 30% is a very good, you know, eyeball range of what her damage increase from her signature is going to be, because that's how they've been doing it for other people's signature as well. And these rotations are not far off from what it will actually look like in game, as it would really just depend on what you're fighting and so on. But without further ado, I hope this video helped you out. Like I said, but without further ado, hope this video helped you out. You know, let me know, do you plan on pulling for Camellya weapon? I know a bunch of people are hyped for her. I'm going to try to get it. Hopefully I can. I don't know. Free to play account, so is what it is. If anything, I'll use Emerald of Genesis, you know. But, you know, maybe we snag a little early. Who knows, who knows, who knows? But yeah, I will be trying to get this. Let me know what your Camellya plans are. You know, if you ever pre-farmed, what you got going on. Maybe you're skipping Camellya and you watched this video for some reason to the end. I don't know why, but hope you enjoyed and goodbye.